In the distant future, humanity had reached beyond Earth, venturing to distant stars and founding colonies on planets light years away from their origins. After centuries of exploration and struggle, they had forged alliances with various alien civilizations, each alliance adding to their growing network across the galaxy. Among these civilizations, none posed a more formidable presence than the Zarin Empire, a species known as conquerors of systems, rulers of the stars, and fearsome in their unyielding dominance. The Zerans considered themselves the pinnacle of galactic evolution, priding themselves on their advanced technology, vast military fleets, and iron grip on the territories they had claimed. Ruthless by nature, they believed in supremacy, asserting their rule over any species they deemed inferior, often wiping out those who refused to bow. The Zerans had long been aware of humanity's existence, watching from afar with a mixture of disdain and mild amusement. To them, humans were little more than upstarts, a chaotic and primitive species just barely emerging from their corner of the galaxy. Arcadia Prime, one of humanity's newer colonies, was thriving. A vibrant, Earth-like planet with sprawling cities and natural resources, Arcadia had rapidly become the jewel of humanity's expanding frontier. The Zerans viewed this world as an ideal target, prosperous, ripe for domination, and a perfect addition to their empire. As they prepared for their next campaign, the Zarin commanders plotted their strategies from their flagship. High above Arcadia Prime, the Zarin fleet gathered, thousands of warships shimmering in the darkness of space. They had underestimated one crucial factor, the indomitable spirit of humanity and their relentless will to fight for freedom. On the bridge of the UNC Valor, a sleek battleship at the forefront of humanity's defense, Commander Sarah Lynn stood amidst the low hum of consoles and the focused silence of her crew. Holographic displays flickered around her, casting a cold blue light on her face as they detailed the Zarin fleet's encroaching presence. Tall and imposing, with piercing blue eyes and a demeanor hardened by years of interstellar battles, Commander Lynn was no stranger to war. She had witnessed the destruction wrought by the Zerans before, had seen entire worlds reduced to ashes, and knew all too well what fate awaited Arcadia Prime if they failed. "Prepare for battle," she commanded, her voice unwavering. Her crew moved swiftly, each member trained and ready, yet fully aware of the stakes. There was no room for error. Failure meant annihilation, not just for them, but for every human colony within the Zarin's grasp. Arcadia Prime was humanity's frontier, the shield standing between the Zerans and the rest of their worlds. They had to hold the line. Meanwhile, aboard the Zarin flagship, a massive, fortress-like dreadnought aptly named the Sovereign, a very different sentiment filled the air. Supreme Commander Vaxthar, an imposing Zarin with skin resembling polished obsidian and eyes that glinted with cruel amusement, observed the human fleet through the expansive viewing portal. He chuckled, watching the humans attempt to muster a defense. "They think they can challenge us," he sneered, his deep voice dripping with scorn. "We shall crush their spirit and claim their worlds as our own." His second-in-command, Kaith, a sleek Zarin with an almost serpentine grace, inclined his head in agreement. "Our weaponry is vastly superior, Supreme Commander. The humans will fall in a matter of minutes once we commence the assault." Vaxthar raised a hand, a sly smile curling on his lips. "Patience, Kaith. Let them make the first move. Arrogance blinds them, and we will use it to our advantage." Back on the UNC Valor, Commander Lynn meticulously reviewed her battle plans. The human fleet was significantly outnumbered, and by sheer firepower alone, the Zerans had the upper hand. But Lynn was not one to rely on brute force. Her strategy was one of precision and ingenuity. Instead of confronting the Zarin head-on, she would exploit their overconfidence, using hit-and-run tactics to dismantle their vast armada piece by piece. Her focus wasn't just on the capital ships but on the critical elements holding the fleet together, their supply ships and communication relays. "We'll show them what humanity is made of," she declared, her voice resonating with a quiet ferocity that inspired her crew. Cheers filled the bridge, a testament to the resolve and courage that united them. The fate of Arcadia Prime hung in the balance, but they were ready to lay down their lives if it meant giving their people a fighting chance. The first wave of fighters launched from the Valor, small, agile ships that darted through the void of space like streaks of light. The Zarin fleet, initially caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Vaxthar watched as lasers filled the space between the two forces, explosions illuminating the darkness. "They're quicker than I anticipated," he muttered, his eyes narrowing. But his confidence never wavered. "Engage the assault," he ordered, his voice steely. "Let's remind them what true power looks like." Commander Lin remained calm, guiding her fleet with calculated precision. The humans fought with a ferocity that caught the Zurins off guard, their tactics unorthodox and their movements unpredictable. They weren't just defending their home, they were fighting for survival, for their right to exist. Lin's hit-and-run strategy threw the Zarin fleet into disarray, disrupting their formations and causing confusion among their ranks. One by one, Zarin ships fell under the relentless assault, explosions ripping through their once imposing fleet. Supreme Commander Vaxthar gritted his teeth, his amusement replaced by simmering frustration. "Regroup," he barked, his voice echoing across the command deck. "Fire at will." But Lin was ready for his counter. Anticipating the Zarin retreat, she ordered her fleet to press forward, capitalizing on the disarray she had sown. The human ships moved with breathtaking precision, weaving in and out of enemy fire, exploiting every gap and weakness. Each maneuver was executed flawlessly, a testament to Commander Lin's tactical brilliance and her crew's unwavering commitment. The Zurins were used to being the conquerors, unchallenged and unmatched. But here, against a force that refused to submit, they found themselves pushed to their limits, forced into a defensive position they had never anticipated. Just as it seemed the humans might secure a complete victory, a new wave of Zarin reinforcements arrived, massive dreadnoughts looming in the void like harbingers of doom. Vaxthar, his confidence renewed, seized the opportunity. "Now, we will show them the true power of the Zarin Empire," he declared, rallying his forces for a counterattack. But Commander Lin was undeterred. She had anticipated this very scenario and had one last trump card up her sleeve, the Hyperion Pulse. A prototype weapon system, the Hyperion Pulse was capable of unleashing a powerful energy wave that would disable enemy ships without destroying them, giving her fleet the edge it needed to turn the tide once and for all. It was a risky move, but humanity's best hope. "Activate the Hyperion Pulse," she ordered, her voice calm and resolute as the tension on the bridge reached its peak. The Valor hummed with power as the energy built within its core, a silent promise of the devastation it was about to unleash. The Zarin fleet advanced, closing in on the human ships, but as they entered the pulse's range, Lin gave the command. The Hyperion Pulse fired, sending a wave of energy rippling through the void. Zarin ships flickered and then went dark, rendered inoperative as the pulse swept over them. On the bridge of the Valor, the crew watched in awe as the plan unfolded perfectly, their gamble paying off in a spectacular display of tactical genius. Vaxthar's forces, caught off guard and incapacitated, faltered. The Supreme Commander, witnessing his fleet's sudden collapse, bellowed in rage, ordering a hasty retreat. "Retreat! Fall back! Regroup!" Vaxthar's voice echoed through the comms, but it was too late. Lin's fleet, empowered by their success, pressed forward, finishing off the remaining Zarin ships and securing their victory. The remnants of the once mighty Zarin armada fled, vanishing into the depths of space as the humans stood victorious. On the bridge of the Valor, Commander Lin breathed a sigh of relief, her gaze steady as she surveyed the battlefield. They had won this battle, but she knew the war was far from over. Humanity had proven its mettle, had shown the galaxy that they were not mere insects to be crushed but a force to be reckoned with. "Prepare for the next phase," she said, her eyes reflecting a fierce determination. "We will not only defend our worlds but reclaim those that have been lost. This is just the beginning." As news of humanity's unexpected victory spread across the galaxy, former allies rallied to their cause, and even old adversaries began to reconsider their stance. The Zurans, once confident in their supremacy, had been dealt a humbling blow. They had thought humanity would be an easy conquest, but they had learned a valuable lesson: the human spirit was not something that could be so easily extinguished. In the silence that followed the battle, as the stars continued their endless shimmer, humanity stood ready, united and resilient. They would not merely survive, they would thrive. And as for those who dared to challenge them, they would soon understand one unbreakable truth: in a war with humanity, underestimating their resolve was a mistake. Thank you for joining us on this interstellar journey through Galactic Valor Chronicles. If today's tales sparked your imagination, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on new adventures. Your support helps keep our stories alive across the galaxies. Join our crew, where every subscriber strengthens humanity's legacy among the stars. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and remember, the universe is vast, but bravery and curiosity will always guide us forward. Safe travels, star voyagers.